Good afternoon. Amanda Murray on behalf of Mr. Mesty.
All right. And your name, ma'am?
My name is Janice Luft, Your Honor. I am sorry that I don't have an attorney with me today. I don't mean to be disrespectful of you or the court. I had attorneys in my family, but they passed away. Paul Bronlick was my uncle's brother. Mark Bronlick is now a judge in Monroe. Bill Bronlick is no longer practicing, but Philip Costello did consult with me yesterday and directed me towards the type of lawyer I should be calling because of the toxic environment in the home that I've been living in that was hidden from me. And I wanted to have these to the court before now, but I wasn't able to. I need to have two teeth orally. Oh, okay.
What are the, what?
Well, I need to have a couple teeth orally extracted. So I have an abscess right now and on both sides of the upper mouth, an oral surgeon has to remove teeth. My fillings have fallen out. I have a medical report in here from May 23rd, 2022 on Asya Hameski's birthday where her friend assaulted me and injured my wrist and hand. And at that time, my weight was 115.
Hold on a moment. So what does, yeah, you don't want to just do that.
They're copies.
Copies of what?
There's copies of the assault.
Part 1, midnight to 2:10. Defendant arrives
Good
overwhelmed
afternoon.
and
Amanda Murray on
unrepresented,
behalf of Mr.
asterisk,
Mesty.
asterisk. The clip opens with Janice standing alone,
And
explaining she has no lawyer, spiraling through family history, toxic home conditions,
Your
medical
name, ma'am?
issues,
My
and an
name is
untreated
Janice
abscess.
Luft, Your Honor.
The
I am
judge
sorry
repeatedly
that I
tries
don't
to
have an
slow her
attorney with
down
me
as she
today. I
floods the
don't mean to
courtroom
be
with documents
disrespectful of
and
you or
urgent
the
claims.
Were 2 of 30 that were broken into out on Lower Circle. So that was very upsetting to me. And also there's the activated charcoal radon test that I got from Washtenaw County showing that there were high levels of radon on every level of this three-story home. So my bedroom was at 16.9 on the lower level. And on the upper level,
Okay,
the next highest room was Asya's.
can I just do one thing for me?
Okay.
Just take a breath. All right? Because
I have adrenal fatigue. I've been being treated by Dr. Shan Kong for over a year now.
okay. But the problem is you're giving me a lot of things. I mean, I think I'm a pretty smart guy, but you're giving me a lot of things that are thrown out of context to me. They're just things now that are
Okay.
out there.
Well, their meaning behind that is, there's more than, I mean, I'm not a tenant. I am not a tenant. I brought in, I spent over $100 on color photocopies to show the condition of the house when I moved in because their attorney is trying to, I've gotten 2 letters saying I better not damage the house. The house should have been condemned before I moved in. They've done things to the house that are wrong and there's fraud.
Okay.
And I've been poisoned. I've been injured. In 2019, I weighed 128 pounds. Today, I got on the scale before I got showered. I weigh 100 pounds.
So here's the thing. Let's just stop for a moment.
Part 2,
2 of 30
210
that
to
were broken
420.
into out on Lower
Radon,
Circle.
health crises,
So
and the
that was
judge
very
trying to
upsetting
regain
to me.
control, asterisk,
And,
asterisk. Janice describes radon
also
levels,
there's the
adrenal fatigue,
activated
previous
charcoal
assaults,
radon test
and
that I
home
got from
hazards.
Washtenaw
The
County
judge
showing
struggles to
that
follow
there
her
were high
scattered
levels of
explanations
radon
and
on
tries
every
grounding the
level
conversation,
of this
pointing out that none of this is formally before
three-story
the court.
home.
And let me just say that I don't have a written answer from you that is alleging or counterclaim that's alleging any of the things that I think you're trying to bring before me, which then makes it difficult for their side to then answer.
Well,
things.
they want to know what they owe me. And I am saying that this, being in the situation I'm in this short of a period of time, it is hard for me to bring that forward. And to sit down, they're.
But ma'am, here's the only thing that right now, theoretically, is before me. They have a termination case
Yeah.
to have you leave the home.
And I said I would. I don't understand this.
Okay.
This is
And-
really disruptive to the process of moving out and getting dental care and getting rest.
Okay. So if the issue here is you moving out,
That's what I thought it was.
okay.
And then they're trying to include money and then reaching forward to put a gag order on me.
Well,
I can't do that.
ma'am, hold on. All I have is a possession case.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Well, the letters, from them sound like something else.
Okay.
I might move out this weekend,
not-
swear to God.
Ma'am,
Judge
I am
Simpson.
not privy to those letters.
Oh,
What I have before me is a case where they have sent you notice to vacate the premise.
and I said I would
Okay. Stop there.
last time.
Just for a
Okay,
moment.
okay.
So that then they end up bringing in action so that the court will order you to leave the house if the court finds in their favor.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like on that issue, the parties are in agreement.
Yeah, if I have to sleep in my car, I will. I don't want an eviction on my record. I don't want to stay in their house,
Okay.
but I do want to have a city inspector inspect the home before I leave, so I'm not accused of damaging something that they jury rigged back in 2015 that has caused utility bills to be really high and is.
Part 3,
And let me just
420
say
to
that
645. Judge clarifies
I
the
don't
case.
have a
This
written
is an
answer
eviction,
from
not
you
everything else, asterisk,
that
asterisk. The judge explains that the
alleging
only issue
or
before him
counterclaim
is
that's
possession of the
alleging
home.
any of the things
Janice
that
repeatedly
I
describes
think you're trying to
letters,
bring forward,
fraud, and hidden conditions. The judge redirects
which
her,
then makes it
stating this isn't a
difficult for their
damages
side to
or
then
fraud hearing.
answer.
She insists she's willing to leave,
Well,
but wants protection
They
from
want to
false
know what they
accusations.
caused radon to be in every room of the three-story house. They had an intake and an unfinished crawl.
Ma'am,
They've left
Ma'am,
sewage
ma'am.
down there.
ma'am,
Okay, it's just about the eviction.
really is. That's what's before me.
Yeah, so, I mean, last time we were here, I said I'd be out.
Okay, so when are you going to move out?
Well, we had said that it was going to be like the 27th, but you might give me 3 days to the end of the month, the 30th. And I keep saying I'll be out by the 30th, and I'll probably be out before then, but it's like, it doesn't get heard.
What doesn't get heard?
That I said I'm going to be out.
Okay, so the only one that needs to hear you at this point is me. Okay,
Okay,
so when will you leave?
I will tomorrow I will start looking for an apartment.
Well, but that's not what I'm.
No, I will leave on or before the 30th of June.
Okay,
If you say that's okay. If you tell me I have to do it on the 27th, then I will do it before then.
okay. All right, why don't you have a seat and let me hear from the other side is that issue.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is in agreement that she can stay until June 30th. I do want to bring forth before the court that we did file an amended complaint.
Part 4, 645 to 820. Agreement on move-out date. The tension softens, asterisk, asterisk. Janice finally states she will leave by June 30th.
It's just about
She
the
says
eviction.
she's not being heard, but the judge
Really,
emphasizes the only
That's what's
person who
before me.
needs to hear her is
Yeah,
him.
so,
She agrees
I mean,
again to
last time we were
vacate
here,
by
I
the
said I'd be
30th.
out.
The judge turns to the
So when
plaintiff's
are you
side,
going to move
who
out?
confirms the agreement.
And that amended complaint does seek monetary amounts. For DTE
When
Energy
did you,
on the 24th, May
Oh.
24th.
total amount here of 1370.30, correct?
Correct.
That's the amendment to the complaint.
Correct.
All right.
Your Honor, that's not the only amendment. I would
Okay.
just like to note for the court that when this action began, Ms. Humeski was alive.
Okay.
And my client was acting as her power of attorney. She has since passed.
Okay.
The property is owned by the trust. So now he is acting in his capacity as trustee of the trust. So the complaint was amended to correctly reflect in what capacity he was acting and who owned the property as well.
Got it. Okay. But in terms of monetary amounts, we're really talking about this 1,370.
That's what we're talking about, DTE bills. All along, there's been no disagreement that there's no lease agreement. She doesn't pay a monthly amount. We're not seeking any type of rental payment. These are costs that the estate has incurred since she has continued to remain in the property.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Luck, you can remain right where you are. Have you gotten a copy of the amended complaint?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to turn to the page that has the chart on it.
I'm looking at it.
Okay. And it has on there the water bill, energy, and
Amended complaint does seek.
Part 5, 820 to 1010.
Monetary amount.
Plaintiff adds more. Amended complaint and new claims, asterisk, asterisk. Plaintiff reveals the amended complaint now seeks $1,370.30 in utilities and notes the former homeowner has since died, making the trustee responsible. The judge tries to clarify what exactly is being requested. No rent. Only utilities incurred while she stayed at home.
3 DTE bills,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So let me ask you this. All right, and try to just succinctly answer my question. Of that amount, how much of that amount do you think you owe?
Less than half of it.
Okay, so
The water bill, I think, is the quarter proceeding.
is what?
I mean, I don't have the actual bills to look at, and the high energy costs on this property is due to the HVAC system her son bought, and DTE has pointed that out regularly. There's issues in the furnace companies I had in November, December, January,
okay.
pointed out that it's the fault of the system, that they're so high. It's not my fault. And they should be lower because.
Okay, but hold on. I didn't ask all this. So,
I'd say less than half. I think less than half.
okay, so do me a favor, okay? And all I want is a number. I don't want an explanation behind the number.
Okay.
Just give me a number of the 1370.
Paying $700.
My client will accept that.
Okay, so here's what I
don't want that to shut me off from any future claims on my payroll and other expenses out of pocket for doing the liner and the crawl, which is upwards, just out of pocket, a couple $1,000. And then to do that work itself, we're looking at $1,000 or $2,000. So they owe me. I want to.
Okay, but hold on. When you say, well, hold on. But when you say they.
The Humeskis.
Okay.
Part 6, 1010 to 1245. Judge demands a number.
Okay.
Janice finally gives
let me
one,
ask you
asterisk, asterisk. The judge asks her simply, how much do you owe? After lengthy explanations about bills, furnace issues, radon, and repair expenses, he stops her and insists on a number. She finally agrees to $700. The plaintiff accepts it immediately.
You're talking the estate now owes you that.
Yeah, because I think if I had a hearing, I could prove that
Okay,
Rick was making a lot of decisions that created toxic.
okay, but ma'am, just listen to me for a moment.
I'm trying to.
You're going to have to make a claim against the estate for the things that you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay? That doesn't happen typically here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So what you have here in front of, what I have here in front of me is basically the property kind of itself. If you're talking about services, if you're talking about things that you did or things that should be yours as part of the estate, that happens elsewhere. I didn't want to be that kind of judge, so I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what I'm hearing. And this really would resolve this case. Okay. And that is that you will vacate the premises by the 30th of June, 2023, or a writ of restitution could issue, or an order of eviction, and that you will pay to the plaintiff $700 for utilities.
Yeah.
Can we add by June 30th as well to that?
Can you do that? Can you pay the $700 by June 30th by the time you?
Write a check right now and just.
Okay, then we could we can do that. Then what? Yes.
Then make sure I have the funds in my checking account.
That's fair. So then we can do that, and the judgment could then reflect that a check has been tendered in that amount.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, Asia died on March 31st. And
Does she have a judgment?
so they're including the March 9th bill. She was still alive, still her property.
Do you have a judgment for?
I don't, Your Honor.
We'll get one.
Thank you.
What were you saying, ma'am?
It doesn't matter.
Part 7, 1245 to 1520. Judge explains her other claims don't belong here. Asterisk, asterisk. Janice says she doesn't want this agreement to stop her from pursuing further claims. The judge firmly explains that her injuries, repairs, or reimbursement must be filed against the estate, not an eviction court. He outlines the resolution. Move out by June 30th and pay $700.
Understand that these are billings from when he became, when she, like after she died, and then he gets the property.
Oh, okay, but let's look at it this way.
It's okay, 700.
Yeah, because you're not paying the whole amount of the bill, so I don't have to go per diem on anything. Okay, so I mean, it would seem to me to balance out and do it that way. And I get what you were saying about the water bill, but I think again that's going to kind of balance out because it's going to either be it's going to balance out.
So that doesn't reach out into any other areas. This is just about the eviction. This is money towards utilities. And I'm fine with that. When I moved in, I asked to pay rent and it was refused, and I did give her $200 cash for utilities. And,
okay, can you print one?
yeah, just
Hurry.
Separately, the wages that weren't covered, and there's tax stuff.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. Because I'm not ruling on that, none of that's before me.
Yeah.
This is only going to be applied to the possession of the property. So if there's other stuff that you're claiming, that's, I think that's just outside, not anymore, somebody else. You get to go downtown for that.
Part 8, 1520 to 1700 hours. Emotional outburst from a supporter. Court tension spikes, asterisk, asterisk. A supporter speaks emotionally, saying caretakers are mistreated and Janice's situation is unfair. The judge remains calm, then confirms the $700 check has been given but will be cashed later. The emotional tension peaks as the courtroom reacts quietly.
Pardon?
With my friend O'Deal, she's a lady prisoner.
depends on what you want to say, ma'am.
I just want to say that this woman took care of his mother for 7 years, night and day. And I feel it's not fair the way he's treating her now. It's just not fair.
No, it's not.
I don't think caretaker should be treated that way. I have been a registered nurse for 30 years, and it breaks my heart to see the way this family takes care of this caretaker.
All right, thank you.
It's really not fair.
I do have a check dated today in the amount of $700 from the defendant. I will state on the record that my client will not cash that check today.
All right,
We'll cash it after tomorrow.
okay, all right. I think Monday's a bank holiday, so. Well, you can do it Saturday, I guess.
There was the matter of, before I move out, since twice it suggested in letters that I might damage the property, I'd like to have a building inspector look at the property.
Okay, typically that's not how it's done, okay? So typically what's going to occur is there'll be a move out. They may do a walkthrough to inspect. If they see something that might, how long have you been in the premises?
6 years cleaning up
Okay.
and fixing it.
Okay, all right. So if they see something that might be beyond ordinary wear and tear, then there's a whole procedure by which they, and statutory scheme that they would have to claim that. So there really isn't going to be a need for an inspector prior to your leaving. That doesn't mean that if you want to call the city of Ann Arbor and they can get out there before the 30th,
I can do that.
you can. All right.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm not making it part of this decision in this case that happened.
Please subscribe to help the channel.
Part 8, 1520 to 1700 hours. Emotional outburst from a supporter. Court tension spikes, asterisk asterisk. A supporter speaks emotionally, saying caretakers are mistreated and Janice's situation is unfair. The judge remains calm, then confirms the $700 check has been given but will be cashed later. The emotional tension peaks as the courtroom reacts quietly.